How are you?
I'm dandy.
Are you dandy?
I'm dandy.
Down?
Yeah. No, everything's good.
Good.
We miss Hart. Hart's not here.
Oh, he isn't.
No. I killed him. That's going to be the first
that's
episode.
the first episode.
Yeah, it's the
He's
first
the
episode.
body.
It's going to be very exciting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Could I ask you about Palant and the first episode he was in and the newspaper clippings behind him that had Brennan and Booth's names? Were the stories of significance, or was it just the fact they were in them that was significant?
The stories will ultimately have significance, and that will be teased in the first episode, but it's not actually mentioned, but it's teased a little bit for people who are super fans of the show. But it's everything meant a little something there, and we see now with the certainly with the season ender what he was planning with Booth and Brennan. And season one, episode 1 of season 8 we'll be seeing a lot more from Plum, more surprises.
But he didn't expect her to run.
He did not expect her to run. He didn't expect her to run, but he seems to be one step ahead of them always. So we'll see if he can stay one step ahead of them this time.
Can you talk a little bit about any potential fallout from the Jeffersonian and the FBI because of Brennan running?
Well, what's happened, Brennan has run, she's now a fugitive. The FBI has removed Booth from the case and given him a desk job so that Hayes Flynn, who was Reed Diamond in that episode, has taken over the investigation. So they're trying to get Brennan because all of the evidence they have is that she murdered Ethan Sawyer. So the Jeffersonian, I don't mean this to be too complicated, but the Jeffersonian had to stay lily white through the whole thing. If they were ever going to help Brennan, if they were ever going to find out the truth, they couldn't compromise anything. And that's what Cam was doing. And that will continue in this first episode. Angela is working to try to decode the triangle that was found. Everybody is working to try to clear Brennan, but only within the legal parameters of the FBI and the Jeffersonian. Because once the Jeffersonian is compromised, she's gone. She's dead. There's no way they can ever bring her back. So everyone at the top of the first episode is on their best behavior. Booth is furious. He's trying to keep it together, and then I can honestly say that no one keeps it together. Nobody keeps it together.
Wouldn't be interesting if they did.
Nobody keeps it together.
Does it change the, I guess, tone of the show, or?
Well, the tone of the show, yes. The first episode is far less funny than we usually are. Usually it's. We're a pretty eccentric show. We're a crimedy, so we have. We have taken the show in a little bit of a darker direction. Last season everybody was happy. After 6 seasons, season 7 was everyone coming together. The whole show coalescing. Angela and Hodgins, people having babies. Life was grand. Well, it's not grand now. In this season. We start with everyone being broken apart. Booth and Brennan, the tremendous tension that that's created with that split is something that they have to get over as a couple. He lost his daughter, and the woman that he loves, and she left without a word to him. She had to do it. He understands that, but that doesn't mean it's easy to contend with. We're also going to throw a monkey wrench in essentially everyone's relationship, and try to do it. And try to do it in as realistic a way as we possibly can. All relationships are tested, and this is sort of the season of testing relationships. It's sort of, it's the is love enough season of Bones, you know, I'd like to think that it is, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
So is it going to raise like conflict between Angela and Hodgins, where Angela is so firmly on Brennan's side and Hodgins naturally questions?
Well, I think what we will do is once Brennan comes back into the fold, which clearly has to happen quickly, not easily, but quickly, it is still not the last of Palan. So that is going to be something that hangs over all of their heads as a threat, as a real threat to everybody. We won't focus every episode on that. You know, quite quickly in the next 1 or 2 episodes, we will somewhat resolve the conflict between Booth and Brennan, and Bones will return to being the show that it is. But everyone will be going through changes, you know, and you know, when there's a trauma, you reevaluate your life, and I think that's what everybody's doing. Angela, you know, we had these what we've been calling the 4 bonus episodes, as if we got them out of a cereal box, but they're just 4 episodes that we had to shoot that we knew were not going to air. So those episodes will be airing way out of order. The first one will be the 3rd episode, and then the next one will maybe be 3 or 4 later. But all of them have a bit of a challenge for our regulars, you know. So Sweets in the 3rd episode, although he and Daisy are a couple, is confronted with another woman, you know, who is an FBI agent that he's sent out into the field with. Angela, in a future episode, meets an artist who kind of forces her to look at the choices she's made in her life, because originally when she came into the Jeffersonian, it was a part-time job. She was just coming in to help out. And over these many seasons, it's become a full-time job. It's become what she does, and she isn't content with it. So that, you know, will throw a monkey wrench in Hodgins and Angela. And Cam will meet somebody who we have met before and start a relationship with someone.
Is the gynecologist?
Paul, is he gone? Paul
No.
is gone.
Paul's gone.
Paul's gone, okay.
Paul's gone.
So it's someone we've met before.
It's someone we've met before.
Okay.
Someone very surprising. Not Palan.
Not Paul?
Not
Oh,
Palan.
thank you, that would be too strange.
Yeah, and not Max.
Speaking of sweets, okay. Speaking of sweets, I do have one question for you, sir. It was mentioned back in March that Bones would be revisiting his dark childhood, the dark childhood for the character Sweets. Can
Yeah.
you tell us what's going to happen with that plotline this season?
We will be, as I said, the whole show is going to be. I don't know how obvious it's going to be, but there will just be just a touch of a darker tone, so that we will be exploring people's past, and hopefully we'll be able to see Booth's mother. And with Sweets, it will be, since his relationships will change, he has to deal with his past in forming these new relationships. Was that vague enough?
It's beautifully vague.
Just enough to tease.
That's right.
That's great.
Well, we're a mystery show, so it's got to be mysterious. All right, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Give our best to heart.
Okay, will do.